Peace and blessings to all of God's children. I got something I want to share with you today, and I'm going to humbly request a little bit of your time and attention, and I pray you will be richly blessed with a greater insight into yourself. And it starts on account. Have you ever walked into a room or been into a place and people that's been in the place, smoking weed, whatever they doing in there, but there are smells in there. If you ask somebody about that smell, they don't. Well, in life, we have a tendency to become adapted. The word assimilate. See, assimilation is when you become something other than yourself. In many ways, many of us have been assimilated into things that wasn't our intention. We was really looking for one thing and we found something else. Now that brings us to this. There's a lot of things that we really think we gotta have, but the truth of it is we better off without it. To give a drug user ample supply, access to a lot of drugs, the truth of the matter is you're killing that person. Now, you can't tell the person that's owning that, but my point I'm trying to make here is, I don't care how old we get, I don't care how educated we get, I don't care how grown we think we are, and I'm really abusing that word because you got to tell me you ain't it. Let me tell you something. We never really know for sure what we need. See, human beings here involved in this drama here, we think. And somehow we think our thinking is knowing, but thinking is not knowing. There's only one that knows. And that one, you see that knowing in things, but don't get it twisted. That ain't you, brother. See, that's how ego get in there and play with you. God, Jah, Allah, however you know your highest height, is the best of Noah. You have a higher self. And I would like to say, for the sake of this right here, your higher self is where your God dwells at, in you as you for you. So through that, and that sense, see, we already hardwired to do right. Now, I'm not getting into what men has told us is certain abnormalities and all that in people's behavior. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a basic understanding. I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible. We ask for things. I know I have. Many things in life. And found out when I got it, I didn't want that. Here's what I'm getting at. And this is the topic of it. We spend our lives looking for things we already have. Listen, a perfect creator don't make imperfect works. We were downloaded with everything we need. Now here's the catch to it. We got to find out how to operate in it. We all know people. They can spew facts. We used to call them data monsters. I don't know what y'all call them this day and time. They can tell you who won the World Series in 1960. I mean, they go on and on. They can tell you everybody on the front line of the Battle of the Bulge. But they cannot articulate or put together a coherent process of solving problems. When I say creative intelligence, I'm talking about that ability that allows us to solve problems. I'm not going to sit on here and waste a lot of time talking about how we spend our time spinning around in our own head. I'm just speaking to the fact that if you honor, worship, or acknowledge any type of higher being, God, source in your life, you must know that that being is the best of knowers. All we do as human beings, or as my mentor taught me, and it's a great truth through the ages, as beings trapped in this matrix, as you want to call it, and everything, where truth and falsehood strangely mix. redeemed, that means getting it right, only by the grace of God. Okay. If you continue with me, I promise you're going to be blessed richly. Coming to this inner understanding, you find out that the value of keeping your word and honoring yourself, respecting yourself, loving yourself, and here back. Say what you mean and mean what you say to yourself. If you do something, you must have your own word validated within yourself. Let me tell you something. I wrote up a little something that I'm going to read to you. I was in a really strange, dark place when I wrote this some years ago. But the title of it, we look everywhere for what we already have. In so many ways, we are given our wildest dreams. But it seems at the beginning, it's the worst of all diabolical schemes. What it takes to make us really free is hidden like a diamond that no one can see. Coal becomes a diamond by being under pressure a long time to be. Some say it's best to burn out than fade away. We are certain that everything begins as nothing. Then something happens that alters our entire world. Just like the clam that eats dirt and makes a pearl. It's through struggle and strife do we acquire the tools we need to build our life. One more time. It's through struggle and strife do we acquire the tools we need to build our life. Value is known through cost, meaning we must pay the cost to be the boss. If I could, would, and should is our paradise lost. There's a rhythm that causes our heart to beat. The great things in our lives are often bittersweet. It is all the mess in our lives that make it complete. A power that squeezes our hearts with both sadness and gladness, rolling like thunder into mellow madness. From perfection is made perfection being, given perfection through loving kindness, tender mercies, and grace. Selah. I hope out of all this babbling I did here today that you heard something that triggers something within you for your own elevation and closeness to your divine higher self. I pray blessings upon you, peace and protection from the Most High. One love.